And joining us now in the studio to talk about South Sudan's independence is Nii Akuetteh, an Africa policy expert and political analyst. Mr. Akuetteh, thank you so much for being here today.
It's a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
So this was the one moment a lot of people had been waiting for. Was it going to happen? Was it not going to happen successfully? Well, it went successfully. Your thoughts on that day?
Oh, I think it brings to an end a very long struggle. A lot of people, the war heated up for about 20 years under John Garang's leadership. But actually the friction between the North and the South, the grievances of the South go a long way back, and the fighting actually erupted before Sudan became independent in 1956. So it brings to an amicable close a long 60-year war. So we are happy and relieved for that. But of course, there are a lot of challenges ahead. At the same time, also, there are good opportunities. So it all depends on a lot of leadership and goodwill.
Well, let's talk about the challenges first. Of course, the CPA, the Comprehensive Peace Agreement, was signed in 2005. A lot of those issues are still outstanding. Issue of ABA, Southern Kordofan, wealth sharing, distribution. What are your thoughts on how that is going to be resolved?
Well, you know, they haven't been fully resolved, but they have made a lot of progress. For instance, the actual border on the map between the North and the South is not 100% agreed upon. There's been about 80% agreement, so it has to continue. Another really big challenge is the issue of oil. You know, how the oil will be shared. For now, most of the oil is in the south, but the pipeline that takes it for export, it goes through the north to the sea. And so the two sides have to cooperate. They have to come to an agreement on what kind of formula will be used to share the oil. That's another one. And of course, internally, as was mentioned in the setup, the issue that has bedeviled a lot of African countries is multi-ethnic countries, the number of ethnic groups. But I believe very, very strongly that the solution to ethnic tensions and problems is transparent and democracy, transparent, inclusive democracy, so that people can speak out. Even if you don't solve the problem, the fact that people have a process for letting their grievances be known and addressed can calm things down.
Well, let's talk now about opportunities. There's this influx of people, businesses, investors from all over the place coming into South Sudan. We know that a lot of the indigenous people of South Sudan have been very disenfranchised, lack of education, access to education, opportunity, skills. How do you see that being balanced out so that the new citizens have equal stake?
In fact, it is another worrisome thing. It is an opportunity. There are resources there, and a lot of people are going in. But does the new government have the structures and the processes to deal with them? The investors who are coming have a lot of cards on their side. So we need the new government to be strong enough to have the competence and the resources and the expertise to negotiate well, to have good plans. And this is where I think they need the help of the international community, particularly the United States. Now, you know, the U.S. has played a fairly prominent role in the South. The Bush administration played a leading role in the CPA in 2005, and the Obama administration has also been quite strong and quite prominent in pushing for peaceful acceptance of the January elections so that we'll get the independence that we have now. But it must not stop there.
Just before you go quickly, I want to get your thoughts on the presence of Sudanese President al-Bashir at this very momentous day. Hopeful?
Yes, I think it's hopeful. I think it's hopeful that he went. Although before coming, for the past week since he returned from Beijing, he has made some worrisome statement about clearing out rebels just north of the border. So the fact that he was able to go and offer a hand of friendship and say, we accept the decision of the South, is a good thing. But the two countries, the North and the South, are not out of the woods yet in terms of the friction in their relationship.
We'll keep watching.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for those insights. Nii Akuetteh, Africa policy expert and political analyst, joining us here in our studios in Washington.